we'll call it, there's a bottleneck going on. She is aware and is here. She is saying, there's no mahestahan and it's but there I'm here and I'm here to help and assist. But I've come to help and I am here and helping and assisting. She still has and maintains some of the anxieties that exist there for souls when channelings come through, because you see the channeling as a foreign thing coming in, and it is not that for her, because she is the weaver and she is of the divine. And when we interact, communicate, support, imagine, dream, though we can maintain our individuality, we also have a sense that from a soul perspective or an earth perspective, it would look like emerging, but it is not that. She has a physical body there on earth, and she is living a life very much as an individual soul would, but she is not. So sometimes, even though that is the appearance of who she is, that is not who or what she is. And so when we come and we are interacting with her, those of us of the divine, we interact in a divine manner with her, because there is no other way we could interact with her. And she is trying to interpret it in not just soul ideals, but also physical earth ideas, and there is no way to truly interpret this there, because it is a divine thing. As is even Uriel can tell you, that what I am trying to say there is a divine thing and not even an angelic thing. And so I do not even know if in the angelic realm has idea words for this.
You don't have the capability.
That is what I thought. So if the angelic realm, which is totally spiritual, does not have concepts for this, then it is even more difficult to put it into physical human words.
Yes.
I am here for her. She was needing some support, and I came forward, and she is thinking, that expression is thinking, well, who are you? Because she is anxious and worried, because for souls there's reasons to be anxious and worried. There is no reason to be anxious and worried for her. She who's there at this particular point, she has returned to her divineness, and in that divineness, it could not, a distorted being could not come in and present in this way, because of her closeness with, you're trying to find the words, and her closeness in her closeness with God, and intertwining with God, it would be impossible for a distorted dark beings with dark intentions to infiltrate. Yes, we'll use that. I do not like that word, infiltrate. That is very dark and sinister. They could not communicate in this manner because, or intertwine. We'll go that way. We could not intertwine in this manner, because that intertwining would be like jumping into the singularity if they were of dark intentions. Because yes, okay, we are going to say it this way. You have been seeing it bits of this too already. Everything that is coming into contact with her, the more intimate the contact with her, the more they are pulled into intimate contact with God Himself. And it is like returning to God in some senses, not completely. There is a limit. It is like that. We'll just say it is like that. So that if something distorted comes into closer and closer contact, they will be finding themselves being pulled more and more into divinity and healing, and if they are determined to remain distorted, it would be like jumping into the singularity. They will not do it. They will pull away, because they would feel that uncomfortableness. Those who are of the light will be pulled towards it, and will feel more comfortable, and will feel more inspired, and will feel divine urgings coming from themselves. Does this make sense?
Sort of.
Okay. We are going through this. We are going through this descriptions because her physicalness was more limited, is having some. It's like immediate. Who are you? Who are you? I want to know who you are. You do not need, you know, but you do not. I cannot give you that definition in that way. I am coming because you needed my support and help at this time, and so I am here. This was not a intention bubble. You do not understand that the point that you have come to now, though you may feel the intention bubbles, if the intention bubble comes into contact with you, it will immediately be divine's act? Yes, we will call it that. You are pulling, yes, you are doing this. This is part of what is going on now. Because you are you, because your divinity there has shot up, we will call it that way, and realigned even more with God and your true self. You will still be allowed to have a physical body, but those things that are not divine are being pushed into divinity when their interaction and presence with you. And because of that in your nature, you are not just sitting here and waiting for them to come to you. You are expanding this divine healing energies out. You are not good at waiting. And you will pull it always more and more and more, because this is what you are doing. You are instrumental in bringing about the healing, especially to earth, but to the darkest of the dark. You are just like pull through more, be brighter, and that brightness, it is like, you know how they're on that physical level. You have the sun, and when the sun comes up, this is why she is called dawn. The sun comes up, and when the sun comes up, the plants just react. The plants do not choose to react. There is not a process they have to follow. The sun comes up, they react. They grow, they begin to make food. This is what they are doing. So her presence there is acting as a divine sun, in that it is just doing it. And as she realizes it is doing it, she is shining forth brighter to just cause the divine awakening to occur. It is not the God Habu, but it is quite intense divine. It's not really alignment, because the divine alignment has already occurred. It is. We will do the sun illustration because that is best. Watch a plant when the sun hits it. Watch how it moves, how it pulls toward it, how it blossoms and grows. This is what she is doing in the darkest of the dark. There is a pulling and a blossoming. And she is not just maintaining, but shining, just as you experience there on earth. When the sun comes over the horizon, it continues to get brighter and brighter and fuller through the day from that experience. So she is getting brighter and brighter and pulling in more of the divine light into the darkest of the dark. It is like coming upon noon. Yes, the noon sun. It is like coming upon the noon sun. This has been happening, but it has been coming over the horizon a little bit more, and all that is divine is reacting thus. The intensities that she is feeling is her own choice of making herself brighter. Was a rushing of divinity. Always a little bit more than is comfortable. She will always do that. It is funny because she is not an athlete, nor is she that inclined towards. She is not that much drawn towards physical, because she is not a physical. She is a physical being, but she is not inclined towards physicality. So, physicality that is seen in an athlete has never been her draw. But as an athlete who loves to do the high jump, we'll call that high jump. They enjoy going just a little higher, and every time they go higher, they enjoy going a little bit more. It makes them excited and fun, and they just love it. That's just it. They just love it. She is always going a little bit higher, pushing herself a little bit more with that which is divine. Always expanding and going, and as she does, even if it's a little uncomfortable in some ways, because she's going so fast and so strong, she is also excited. And I know from an outside perspective, it said, well, then just go slower. That is impossible. That is impossible. She lives and is connected in the heart of the infinity point of God. You cannot hold it back or limit it. It will always expand. It will always be expansive and more and more and more. You cannot say, okay, now we're going to stop for a while. Not really. That is not really how she works. That is not really how God works. There are some of the divine who are a little bit more, not as woo as she, but you have to understand our close, long-standing intimacy with God at this point. It is infectious, the way, the joy and the wonder and the inspiration and the expansiveness. You cannot be in the presence of God and be limited and dull. It cannot happen. It's just expansive and colors and bright and sparkles and what about, ooh, isn't this fun? That is what it is. So she cannot slow down or do that dullness comes the farther away you move from God's presence. And she is fully aligning and connecting and being with that. So therefore she could only bring that into her experience in the physical. The problem she is facing is that physical has many more limitations, and she is trying to acclimate the two together, which sometimes causes a lot of eddies and whirls. Have you not noticed how bright and the colors and the lights and the swirls and more that is coming in through, even more than in past years, that's times, yes. She has always been that way, but you look at her and you will watch and you will see she is having to paint onto her house and onto her doors and onto her walls, and her clothes that she is choosing and the things that she is doing, it all having this expansive whoosh. It is because that which was limiting her has dissipated, and she is bringing in the God light there. She is bringing in the God's intimate. It is like, I know how we will try it this way. Say there is a fantastic artist who does not just paint pictures on canvases, but their home, their walls, the way their house was built, the yard, everything in their experience is technicolor. And whenever you comes out, everything is decorated, everything is color, everything is sparkling with light, but it's also soft and comfortable, and the breezes blow through, and it flows, and it's beautiful. Yes, This is what our home is like. This is what being in the presence of God is like. It is so much. And there it is very dull. And it is like the colors are flat. And she is bringing in the vibrancy. But it is, the vibrancy is not part of the culture that has existed there. It is almost as though everyone is saying, ooh, let's tone this down. Let's tone this down. And she has heard this so much. She is having, the physical her is having a little bit of, ooh, this might be a little much. You need to release that, because that is just causing the eddies. If the eddies are, if that holding back is released, yes, it will be more vibrant and over the top, but this is what they need in the darkest of the dark. You have to shine it forth with brilliant colors. Just let them shine forth. We will make sure that you have what you need so that you can shine it forth. You do not have to be always anxious. Well, will I be able to? You cannot stop this, my dear. This is what is necessary at this particular time. You will always be doing this, and you will be doing this in a way that will cause others to maybe fall backwards sometimes. And you will like that, because they need it. They need it. They need the laughter. They need the laugh, the light. They need the sparkles. They need the sparkles. They need the sparkles. And take the most vibrant of colors and do not tone them down. Put them everywhere. Have everything bright and shiny. Walk through the streets with the biggest of smiles and the big bright colored wigs. Put bumper stickers everywhere. Pull divine in everything and do not hold back. This is why you are uncomfortable. You are trying to limit it just a little bit. Do not. Blow with the winds of color and light. And then you will be fine. You will meet some resistance, but keep blowing. They need it. Oh, the energy is too intense, and you are going to be fine. It is overwhelming, but you are quite in a very good spot. You have been acclimated into the color and the bright and the abundance. It is still sometimes overwhelming, but you will find it much easier than some others will. Remember when we told you about Penelope, and Penelope came through and expressed herself, and she was pink and bubbly and over the top, and this is what we are. This is where you came from. You were all more, just a lot bubblier and lighter and sparklier. It does not mean that everyone must have glitter all over them. But it's going to be shaking it up a little bit. Just a little bit more bright color. She is now not fighting as much, so therefore she is calming down. We just have to blow through all those old limitations.